is continually evolving. Today, we witness a shift in tourism paradigm.
And the cultural knowledge that we have is very important.
This one is an Ifugao Bulul that has been lent to us.
Ito, silk screen. So what we need to do is just get the first layer, on the top layer, the measurement.
We will now make sure that you will not be consultant dependent, and you will now be able to put together your own museums with least assistance from the others.
The basic tools that we need to set up the studio. A camera that you're comfortable with, together with it.
Also, generally, museum staff are advised not to pursue.
In doing that, I'd like to focus on the two important words in that formulation, which is to curate and to exhibit. To curate is to...
So why are museums important? Because museums and galleries give us an insight into the history of humankind.
So even John Dewey, who is a prominent leader in
Okay, good morning everybody. Welcome to day 2 of our year 2 museum management training. Maayong buntag sa tanan, maabig a bukla, kumayo halban, maupay nga aga hangatanan, mapleg ja agsapa, mapod an algo dayo. No? So those are the greetings of good mornings, no, in various local languages, no, coming from our participants. So today our agenda is to give you an orientation and also to give you the accomplishments, no, of year 1 museum management training. But before that, let us have a recap from yesterday. So yesterday we had a very interesting plenary on the role of university museums in tourism development and creative industry by Dr. Raimundo Revullos. So he presented a very strong connection between your museums, no, in relation to the sustainability of tourism and creative industry in a particular place, no? Specifically in Baguio City, where it was declared on as one of the creative cities, no, UNESCO creative cities under the craft and folk art. Okay, so we would like to introduce our website. No, in fact, yesterday we are on live streaming via the YouTube, so you can now look at that review from our Facebook page, from YouTube, and also from our museum website. No, so this, like I said, these are all accessible online as long as you have an internet connection, and they are free because the intention of Museo Kordilyera in UP Baguio is to give this learnings and webinars accessible to everyone. Okay, so let me now proceed with my slide. Now, so this is a very lengthy discussion about year 1 and how we have now year 2. No, so the talk will be in 2 parts of the of this morning session. Okay, so taking off from the museum strategic plans, revisiting year 1 of the museum management training. So this is a collaboration under the Commission on Higher Education, no? The Study PH grantees. No? So there are 30 from all over the Philippines, and Museo Kordilyera is one of the grantees implementing this museum management training for HEIs, transforming university museums as sites of cultural tourism and education tourism in 2019. So this is in collaboration with Museo Kordilyera, the Social Science Research Institute, or the SSREI, of the College of Social Sciences in UP Baguio. No? So there are 2 institutions within the university in collaboration with the Commission on Higher Education. So this was approved under the CEB Resolution number 567/2019 of the Study PH, or Study Edutourism. And the project aims to gather educators, leaders of higher education institutions to increase their knowledge and appreciation of university museums. So our target for year 1 and 2 are actually the university presidents who have a very strong stake, no, in building their museums, and also the museum staff, no, and educators. These are the people who will lead your museum. No? So the profile of our participants are either university presidents, librarians, no, cultural workers, and professors. No? Tourist guides are also there. No? But of course, we have to level up our understanding of the museums. Okay, so from last year, we identified potential HEI participants of 1,050 all over the Philippines, no? And we conducted a needs TNA, or training needs assessment survey, which was floated to our participants. This includes questions on staffing, museum structure, funding, conservation issues, collections management, and other urgent concerns by that respective museum. And at the same time, from this survey, we crafted a program for the museum management training based on the needs, the ones you answered for the TNA. And so we gathered, matching this with museum practitioners and scholars in this particular field of expertise. Then, so these are some of the speakers. That started with our chancellor, former Chancellor Ray Rovillos. We also had other university officials coming to Museo Kordilyera to visit the museum. We also distributed kits, from 150 kits to those who advanced to level 2 of the museum training. So we wanted to project that museums are very important learning spaces and also a very important complement in pedagogy or teaching. That's why Museo Kordilyera is really advocating that we should have very good content in our museums. So this convened from 600 participants from level 1 who completed all the training and then advanced to level 2. So now we are down with 150 participants from all over the Philippines. Okay, so we asked you to answer this TNA and gave us feedback on how we can design the training program. And these are the profile of the participants. So a big chunk of that is from the NCR, and they are distributed from other regions from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And the nature of the HCI museum participants includes university museums, local government museums, even national museum branches, private museums, NGO, university museums, and there are also specialized museum, which includes, for instance, legacy halls, art galleries, special interest museums. So the profile are varied in relation to the feedback that we got from you. And in terms of the nature of these museums, 37% actually have an existing museum, but in the annotations, they needed work on how to reinvigorate their museums or improve their exhibitions. And then 37% also plan to set up their museums, what we call as the MUCs. And then lastly, 24.5, okay, I'm sorry for that. 37% are individuals and 24.5 are organizations or schools who are planning to set up their own museum. Okay, so this again is the profile of the participants. Iba-iba din yung nature ng museums nila, from ethnographic, natural science, history, and others. Now, in relation to the question on do they have a background in museology, so we were taken aback with this response that most of our participants really did not have any training on museology, but they are in the museums. So this is a strong motivation for us in our team to really craft programs and trainings that would be appropriate for the museum staff, especially in HEIs. So here, another important question on, for instance, on the areas that needs improvement, or the topics that they suggested, for the training. And a big percentage goes to the management of museum, in terms of the research, and not really in order, preservation of artifacts, cataloging of artifacts, conduct of museum tour, evaluation of artifacts, museum publication, research, and handling. So from here, we match that with practitioners who are really very good in this area in museology. And there is a follow-up question about further training. So we also included that in our program. No? And you can see all of these topics are equally, or if not equally, they are really connected to each other. Okay, so for those of you who are in year level 1 museum management training, we are aware that there are 3 levels. No? So first is on level 1. This is basic museology, which run from October to November in 2020. And this is the profile. So we have 13 resource persons. There were 600 participants from various institutions. We also included 100 students on museology from UP Baguio. No? So they were also part of this training. And in level 2, from February to March 2021, we again convened participants who advanced from level 1 to level 2. So we have about 150 shortlisted participants from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. There were 14 panelist speakers on advanced museology, and we sent these training kits to 150. And 150 participants. No? So we were happy to receive a little note of thanks. No? So that's a very good booster for all of us who really wanted to have this training successful. And then on level 3, this is now the technical assistance program and co-curation activities of HI museums from April to July 2021. So what happened there is we have a standing memorandum of agreement with the Ifugao State University Museum in Hapao, Ahingyon, and Lagawi campus. Tama ba? Hapao and Lagawi campus. And we had this 150 participants in level 3, and they were clustered according to the nature of museums, and they were assigned to a specific museum consultant for technical assistance. So if you are a natural history museum, we clustered all of you together, and your consultant is Dr. Juan Carlos Gonzalez of the UP Los Baños Museum of Natural History. And there are also ethnographic museums, and other museums. And then we concluded the level 1 last March 31, 2021 with a closing program. And again, with a reiteration of all these requirements from the participants in order to help them in that particular aspect. So the technical assistance, so there are a lot of submissions of papers, the status of the museums, and all sorts of activities. Okay, so these are the profile of 153 participants. 102 came from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, and those museums in the conceptualization stage is 24, and we had 27 individuals. So these are the process that went to level 3, and we required our participants to send us old photographs of their museum. We also asked them to prepare concept papers, their proposed floor plan, their description of objects. And of course, there's a list of so many, not so many, just enough for the practical exercises that they submit to us for assessment and how we can give further technical assistance. In so doing that, the technical assistance really is, the aim are also important, the aims of this technical assistance. First is, of course, the ultimate is to facilitate in the establishment of university museums. So we received university officials and their staff coming to our museum in Baguio, no, to talk about, consult us on how to establish their own museums. No? So hopefully those museums that came with us, no, for benchmarking can actually have these museums materialize in the near future. And then of course, number 2 is the capacity building for HEI museums. No? So in all levels, for year 1 and 2, the aim really is to capacitate the HEI museums in relation to museum management and others. And of course, the third one is to co-curate an exhibition in the near future, no, once they have succeeded or finish the training. No? So that's the goal of the museum. Okay, so these are just examples of exhibition narratives, no, on how they would conceptualize their own exhibitions. We also required them to look at how they will use the spaces, no, in the museum, where to do install, mount display cases, and what will be the traffic, no, of the exhibition. Okay. And then, of course, the exhibition design. No? So we hope that at the end, no, of this program, or even later on, there will be a curated exhibition in museums, a curated museum, no? Meaning Museo Kordilyera can actually assist you in helping you craft your, or assist in the exhibition planning. No? And then, of course, what are the 3-year program of activities of your museum? No? Okay, so these are examples of our technical assistants. No? So we assigned museums, no, and presented their SWOT analysis. No? So from here, a lot of our participants identified, no, what are the strengths, the weaknesses, no, and then the opportunities, no, and then and what can be done, no? So, and of course, the resources, they were able to identify the resources, no, in relation to the difficulty of securing funding, no, from the university, or even difficulty in collaborating with other museums, no, and the local government units. Okay, and so we did visit the Ifugao State University in Hapao campus, as well as in Hingyon. So we work with Ma'am Regina Gampao and Dr. Liza Tabmargo from these 2 campuses in Ifugao. And I think now they were able to secure funding for the improvement of their museum, as well as funds now for setting up exhibition. Okay, so as part of this continuing program on educational programming, and of course, there's a lot of impact, no, of the pandemic to our museums. No? So the Museo Kordilyera decided to bring the museum to your home, no, concept. And so we came up with a 3D virtual museum and a museum website where they can actually access, no, information about the exhibition, as well as the training, and to learn about the collections in the museum. No? So we launched an official website that can be accessible to everyone. No? So in the museum website, it contains a lot of information, no? And you can actually also use the barcode to enter the museum. No? So in the museum website, you can see our current exhibitions on Kordilyera textiles, okay, which was launched in 2019, and then it was in 2020 pandemic, so the museum was closed. And so we're extending the exhibition for another year because many people have not seen it or have not really looked into the details now of this textile exhibition. And I must say that it is a very well-curated museum on traditional textiles. So these are photographs of the opening exhibition. We also co-curated this with local weavers, no, who came, who helped us install our exhibition. And now this is part of a 3D virtual tour of the museum website. You can actually click that and you can go to the website. And one of the important features of the museum website is all of our year one webinars, recorded webinars are archived in the museum website, level 1, 2, and 3. And you can actually listen to all of our speakers who shared their knowledge with us in year one. Okay, so you can actually listen to this at your own pace if you want to review and if you want to learn more about the training. Okay, so this is year one, and year two is a different one. We also have the same speakers, but the content is more applied, which I will explain in the latter slides. Okay, so as part of the development of the museum website, we also have workshops and trainings on digital transformation of museums, on a more extended talk on collections management and preventive conservation. And we also added this topic on designing for museums. Now, this is in relation to how to fabricate display cases in the museum, which is more practical. Okay, and at the end of year one of the museum management training, we produced a 2-volume proceedings of level 1 and 2. And we now have the HAI directory, HAI Museums directory, which we will distribute maybe next month or so. And if you want to be included, let us know, because this is also a work in progress. So our efforts to do networking with other museums, because we are a university museum and we have to join forces together in order to exchange notes and learn from each other's experiences. And of course, to assist our museums. And also part of the museum website is the project on reconnecting museum collections to artisans. So the Museo Kordilyera houses various artifacts from basketry, wood carving, metal craft, weaponry, and others, textiles. So in order to understand this, as part of our continued efforts to learn about objects and the people that produce them, we also invited artisans who can actually replicate the objects, old objects found in the museum, and they actually succeeded that. So we presented this in another platform in the museum website, where you can watch a short 10-minute video documentary about the lives of the artisans, as well as the objects that they produce and how these are important to their specific culture. Okay. So at the end of year one, we also sent the questionnaires back to our 150 participants, and to assess the year one museum training and what other suggestions or recommendations that they could make based on the trainings of that they had for MMT1. So we receive a lot of very good feedback from our participants. So we thank everyone for the comments. We read them, and I hope that you can also do your comments and other suggestions to improve the museum management training. Okay, so I mentioned yesterday that there were also a lot of museums who came to Museo Kordilyera to do their benchmarking, and we always are happy to receive news from the museums that we work with for the participants and how they apply that in their museums. So this is the museum in Hapao campus. They are actually fixing their collections. They acquired cabinets and artifacts on display, and this is actually volunteers or members of the community who actually were there to help improve the display of the artifacts. And we also had visitors from the ASCAT, Agusan del Sur Agricultural Museum. So they came all the way from Agusan and to do benchmarking at Museo Kordilyera quite recently. And we are happy to show them our artifacts and display cases and the exhibition. So they spent a lot of time navigating and reading and learning from our museum. And last February, we also had 183 SHED regional directors, national and regional directors led by chairperson, SHED Commissioner, SHED Chair, Dr. Popoy de Vera, who visited the museum and explained to them the relevance of museums in universities. And always, we are always delighted and in gratitude that Museo Kordilyera is the peg for university museums. Okay, so we thank the many visits, and we also receive a lot of visitors from different museums also. So hence, with the success of year one, we again initiated the call for participants from other museums, and we garnered about 371 participants for this training. Okay, so that's the first part, just to give you an overview on what happened during year one of the museum management training. Okay, maybe we can accommodate some questions before we proceed to the briefing and orientation of year two. Okay, so do we have questions? Okay, so IFSU Lamut, Ifugao State University Lamut, I stand corrected. Okay, may I ask if the participants have questions on the first part of the presentation? Okay. All right, so how can you join the museum directory? If you are a participant, we usually ask you your consent if you want to publish your museum in the directory. So you can get in touch with us via email, include your contact details, the address, and also you can send photographs of your museum and maybe a paragraph long description of the nature of your museums. Okay. Other questions? Okay. Okay na. Yes, if you have done the question here, if the museum have attended year one and you're not included in the directory, but all of the ones included in the HI directory are part of the training, and some we secured consent for those who are unable to attend, but we identified the museum in that area and they gave us permission to include them in the HI directory. Okay, other questions? Okay, so there are no more questions. Let us now proceed to the briefing and orientation of the year two of the museum management training. Okay, so like I said, we received 371 participants after we sent out the call for call for participants for year 2 of the museum management training. So there are, as of yesterday, we have this number, and many still wanted to register via Zoom. Okay, but we already asked them to watch the YouTube live streaming of the presentations via the YouTube. No, so as of yesterday, we have seen 253 views, no, viewers, no, from day one, from yesterday. No, so we assume that our target really is 100 participants, because this is more applied, and this is now content driven. This is different from year 2 because here there will be hands-on training, and we will visit your museums also to assess and conduct trainings to your museum. Okay, so these are the profile of the participants for year 2. So like I said, we have a total number of 371 registered participants, and about 88 are individual participants. There are 14 returning MMT. This means they were participants from year 1 of the training. And we have 74 new participants for museum management training year 2. Then we have a total number of HAI institutions, 92. Just a clarification on the institutions, there are university museums, LGU museums. We have a few private museums that were included, no, for year 2 of the museum management training. And we have about 48 returning participants, no, from year 1. And we have 44 new participants for year 2. No? So we have a total of 92 participants. There, no? So these are the breakdown of institutions. Like I said, there are private museums. There is the National Historical Committee, no, of the Philippines. There are NGUs, LG museums, MUCs, or museums under conceptualization, and then established museums, no? So these are the profile. Now, so the half-half, yung old and returning, and new participants for year 2 of the museum management program. And the participants, no, they vary, no, merong, of course, from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, and the majority of the participants would come from the NCR region. Okay, so this is the distribution. And again, we asked the same question if they have a training or a background in museology, and many answered that not all of them have a background in museology, and to some extent, no, a few have an idea on working with museums. And this is the basis of the crafting of the year 2 topics, no, for the museum management training. And number 1 pa rin yung museum management, research, preservation of artifacts. So in this session, we included 3 resource persons to give you more extended training on preventing conservation of artifacts. Okay, so these are the lineup. I'm sure you already have this. We sent it to your email, and then we posted this on our FB wall and also our museum website. So we started yesterday, and this is today. And then the next session will be on March 10 and 11 on museum administration, planning your museum design, no, and architecture, because almost 25% are still in the MUC, or museums under conceptualization. Then you have the collections management. We added a a topic on museum information system and collections database, no, as requested by one of the participants, no, to include this on how to do catalog registry in your museums, no. Then we have the part on preparing museums and collections policies, and then you have curation and exhibition display. Then museum education, and then museum collaterals, and then the digital practice in museums, no, which is the last part of the year 2 training. And then we proceed to MMT3, but it will be simultaneously run, no. This will be on museums and virtuality. No? That's another project under CHED, no? On how to develop your museum website and your museum training. Okay, so this is the focus of the museum management training. Like I previously mentioned, this is more applied and practical. It is content driven. This means museums, the participants have to create content, no, for the museum to include in their exhibitions and to include in their museum websites later on, no? And then there will be a lot of hands-on training in situ workshops. Okay, so I will explain that later on how we will go about that. So this is the structure of the year 2 museum training. So like I said, there are new participants to MMT2, and there are also the returning participants from MMT1, no? So as part of our leveling off, we will require, no, the new participants to listen to the archive webinars from our website, no, just to give you a background on basic museology, no? So when the leveling off is done, then the new participants and the returning participants will now proceed to level 2 or the MMT2, no? And then if you succeeded, no, in level 2 and year 1 of the museum management training, then we will include you in the MMT3, which is a training on how to develop museum websites and 3D virtual museum. But the idea here is you should have your own content, okay, before you can actually mount a 3D virtual tour, no? Kasi magkaugnay yun, no? You cannot set up a 3D virtual tour without a content, no? So it is important for many of our participants to consider now working on the content of your exhibitions. Okay, so here are the tentative schedules. So the MMT2 will run from March, no, we are doing that now, until March of 2023. And for level 1, this is scheduled twice a week, Thursdays and Fridays, 10 to 12, on museum management training based on the TNA that was conducted. And we have 10 resource persons, 10 museum consultants, and 10 trainers now via webinar who will be giving the training sessions, no, to all of you. Then we have the level 2. So syempre kailangan kompletuhin yung level 1, no? So we have like an attendance sheet, no, and the feedback form in order for you to be leveled up, no, or advanced to level 2, which is now the technical assistance and hands-on workshop and content creation. So for level 2, when I hope the travel restrictions will be relaxed, no, in the coming months, by June to July, we hope to bring selected participants, no, those willing and ready to come to Baguio to to attend the trainings and with the 10 museum consultants and other participants. But if there are travel restrictions, then we have to do the online webinar, no? If you cannot come to Baguio, then we come to you through level 3, no? So this is now the MMT technical assistance, of the training, which includes the technical team, the museum consultants, and to visit in situ the museums of the participants, no? So kung hindi pwede si Baguio by June, we go to your museums, no? Selected HCR participants, no, that will be identified. So this means dedicated talaga yung museum, no, to finish all of these trainings, and of course their readiness, no, to do a more in-depth technical assistance. Ito na yung actual na pupunta kami sa museums ninyo, and then with our museum consultants to sit down and discuss, no, how can we help your museum, and what are the steps to do that, no? So we look forward for this in level 3, and hopefully that will be around August to September, and then by October to December, and then it's spill over in January to March 2023. We can see the application and setting up of your own museums, no? Whether that's physical or virtual, no? Pwede rin yun. One of the interesting questions that I received from the participants, what if they have a collection but they don't have a physical building? You can actually create a virtual museum based on these collections, no? But of course, you have to be ready with the content and what kind of information you will include in these objects or in these collections. Okay, so in the end, we hope to see different museums in place, whether that's setting up your exhibition, building your museums, no, or creating a logo for your museum, no, or have trained museum staff to do a guided tour of your exhibition, or a museum website, no, a planning, no, or building a new design, or building a new museum for your university or for your locality. Okay, so I think that ends my presentation today, and of course we would like to acknowledge Ched and our project team for year 1. They are still there in year 2, and we thank everybody for the kind support to the museum management training implemented by Museo Kordilyera. Okay, we are now ready to entertain questions, but before that, let me just introduce our participants, no? So mag-start ako sa baba, no, from Mindanao. Okay? This was sent to me, and we saw the profile, no, of our participants, no. So I'll start from Mindanao. If you can just raise your hand and introduce you, and you can say something about the training, and what are you feeling now, no, and what are you expecting from year 2 of the museum management training. Okay, so let's call on the Bangsamoro Museum. The contact person is Glenn Francis Lantice, Senior Museum Researcher. Bangsamoro Museum. Okay, I can see you. Can you actually talk, or can you say hello to our participants, Glenn and Jessel? Hello, Jessel and Glenn.
Hello, good afternoon. Good morning.
Would you like to turn on your camera?
Oh, wait.
No camera spoke for
no camera.
Okay.
Okay. So how are you, Glenn and Jessel? So what are your expectations for this MMT2 training?
First of all, thank you for having me as part of the participants of this training. I'm really there's a realization after listening to the speaker yesterday and today that there's still a big gap. There's a big need for improvement for our museum since it was opened in 2019, the Bangsamoro Museum, and I was fortunately part of the curatorial team. Uh, then after 2019, the transition happened. I was so there's no continuity of the like the direction of the museum. Then new staff were hired, and and the
Okay. All right. Thank you, Glenn, from
okay.
the Bangsamoro Museum in Mindanao. Okay. Thank you so much, Glenn, for participating. Let us now hear from Sultan Kudarat University, Region 8. So we have 6 participants from the museum, sila Aljan Tagle, Juvie Grace Gregorio, Febelin Cabreros, Zonaina Sampayan, and Jovil Paslot, and Ang Queneveba, the director of the Sultan Kudarat University Museum. Okay, anyone from the Sultan Kudarat Museum? Okay. Okay, the next one is from Region 6, Region 7, the Ramon Magsaysay Laureate Library and Museum. Our participant is Mary Grace Perez. She's the librarian and archivist. Okay. Dami pala, no? Okay. So again, we have from Region 6, Ateneo de Davao University, University of Southeastern Philippines, Holy Cross of Davao College Museum, and University of Mindanao Campus. Yeah, okay. All right, so I'll be just introducing each one of you, no? Each time we have the session, ang dami pala, no? Okay, last one, Region 10, you have Capital University Museum of Three Cultures, Liceo de Cagayan University, Mindanao State University, Iligan, Mindanao State University, College of Arts and Social Sciences, and Javier University, Museo de Oro. Okay, and we have a lone representative from Region 9, Museo de Zamboanga. Okay, so thank you very much and for participating, and we are happy to see you here at our year 2 of the Museum Management Training. Okay, are there questions? No? So now we have questions coming in. Okay, the first question is from Kelly Ramos from Cagayan. How much staff do you need to implement this training? So this is our staff, which I showed earlier. Ito madami kami. So we have 3 faculty on board for year 1. That's me, Professor Raimundo Rovillos and Arellano Colongon from the College of Social Sciences. We had 4 research assistants, Joshua Gutierrez, Kim Soriano, Kincha Glory, and Noel Diaz. No? But the dedicated staff to work on the logistics and everything is Joshua Gutierrez and Kim Soriano. And we also have to work with the Net Office, no, for our technical needs. So we have Don, Kuya Kim, and Arnold Amores for the photos and graphics. We also work with other offices from the university, like our finance office, accounting office, budget office, cash office, no? All the finance offices of the university who takes care of the budget and spending, no, of the project. Then we also have the supplies and property office that are helping us purchasing our supplies, no, yung mga kits natin, our publications, our meals, no, and other, for instance, travel and all that. So these are very important in our museum training, no. So marami, no, but the dedicated one are actually for full-time people working on the training under MKCHED. Okay, did I answer your question, Kelly? Okay, so there's an anonymous attendee. What aspects of year 1 are critical that we learn to maximize out learning of year 2 training? Okay, so I suggest based on the survey that were conducted, the primary one is on museum management, because this is where you can actually maximize, no, the support of university officials in relation to funding and administration. Number 2 is curation. Number 3 is collections management. Yan. So I think in terms of priority, I mean, everything, no, all the topics are equally important because they are connected from each other. Okay, we have question again from an anonymous attendee. Clarification. Do we need to watch the previous sessions from year 1, level 1 to 3 as part of the requirement to pass the level 1 of year 2? What's the timeline for this? Okay, we sent this out before, and the deadline, I mean, you have to watch the webinars at your own pace, no? But that should be until March 3. But we will give an exemption. You can watch year 1 for your background, no, on museology, and you can now attend level 1 of year 2 of the training, no? So we just wanted to make sure that you have a background on a brief background on museology para naiintindihan niyo yung concepts that will be discussed in year 2, no? Like I said, year 2 is more applied, no. We're giving an extended or an expanded version of year 1 actually. So it's important to have a background on the year 1 training. Okay. Okay, anonymous attendee, the question, how will we identify our museum staff, especially those who are planning to establish their local museum, no? So that's a separate discussion, no, on the qualifications of a museum staff. But what I know, if you are passionate and interested and enthusiastic about the museum and willing to learn, then that should be more important, no? But of course, for museum workers, at minimum, they should have a background on, let's say, anthropology, museology, a little of history, no, and the technical aspects of running a museum. But this is the reason why, if you don't have a background on museology, then you have to listen to the lectures, the archive webinars in our museum website, and then encourage your staff, no, to participate, no, in this training. Like I said, the talks here, the sessions are recorded and archived, and then they can access that anytime, no? I think it's the attitude of being passionate and committed, no, to work in the museums. I think that's the key. Regardless, well, it's good to have an allied discipline, no, in relation to the museum, but it's good that we should be well trained, no? If you don't have knowledge about that, then you should be willing to learn, no, the intricacies of museology. Okay. question from Glenn. During the step 3 in situ training and assessment, who will cover the travel cost for the technical expert? Okay, so we will cover the travel expenses of our museum consultants going in situ to your museums. Okay, we also have allocated funds for a modest lodging fees, no, in your area, but you will help us to, for instance, look for the lodging or the hotel where we could stay, no, and then hopefully we can work in your museums. So this will be clustered. For instance, let's say Mindanao area, we will identify kung alin doon yung mga museums that we could visit, no, and of course we have to find out what are the travel restrictions. Baka pagpunta namin dyan, madaming mga paper requirements because of COVID, no, or other restrictions, security issues, and all that, no. So we also need your assistance and guidance on the feasibility of going or visiting your area. If travel is not feasible, then we can do online consultations. So you will provide us information about your museums, no, the building, your collection, no, and other basic information that we will need, no, in order to give a fair assessment on how we can intervene or assist your museum. Okay, Glenn. All right, from Bea, okay, from the BSP Museum, is this Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Museum. Can we also get the MMT handouts after completing the webinars from last year? Yes, of course, Bea, we will send you the 2-volume proceeding. Just send us an email. These are for free. I mean, lahat itong mga proceedings, no, from year 1, if you're interested, you can just send us an email and we will send that to you. There will also be a proceeding for year 2 of the museum management training because the content, like I said, is an expanded annotation from year 1. No, magkaiba, or they are the same topic, but a more detailed discussion on that specific topic. Okay, anonymous attendee. Until when is the extension to view the archive webinars? Okay, kung kaya ninyong pagsabayin yung naka-archive, no, pagtulog nyo sa gabi, you can watch 2 hours. And then our sessions for level 1 for year 2 is on Thursdays and Fridays. So at least you can have an idea on what to expect, no, on the day of the year 2 training. So what you can do, if the topic is on museum administration, then you can watch the 2 topics under museum administration or museum management in our archive webinars. And then on Thursday, you'll be ready, no, to listen again, no? So that could be simultaneous. We know that well, if you have speed up your webinar watching, baka magkaroon naman kayo ng webinar fatigue, no? The listening to all our archive webinars. So what we shall do will be just simultaneous. So if the topic is on museum management on Thursday, then listen to the 2 webinars, archive webinars from our website. If the topic is on collections management, we have 2 also from our archive webinars, para on the next day, Thursday, Friday, you will be ready. Okay, we just wanted to make sure that you are ready and are familiar with the concepts that will be mentioned, no, in the succeeding trainings. Okay, I hope I answered that question. Yes, I understand that it's too heavy to listen to all the archive webinars, but like I said, plan it well. So if the session is Thursday and Friday, then before Thursday na panood mo na yung 2 session para pa piecemeal siya, and at the same time you can attend year 2 of the training as well. Okay, does this also go with the deadline of submission of the signed checklist by our head? So we will be very flexible on that. So as long as you're done with the archive webinars, then you can have your head of the office sign that for you, and you can submit that to us. No, but if not, you can actually submit that by June or earlier. Okay, kasi kung simultaneous yung ginagawa nyo, then mag-iiba, no? Parang we have sessions until June, tapos kung twice a week ka nanonood, parang June mo matatapos. But if you can advance that earlier, then as soon as you're finished, then you can submit that within the period of March to June. Okay, our research assistant have just posted the archive webinars from year 1. This you can find at our museum website. Let me just put that up to you. This is the archive museum webinars, no? So makikita nyo yung level 1. So 14 naman itong topics na ito. Okay, so if our on next week, March 10, our topic is on the role of museum boards to the university museums, that falls under museum administration, then what you can do is to listen to the talk of Mr. Danny Alvarez on museum organization and administration. Okay, so if our topic is on conservation, preventive conservation or collections management, okay, for instance, preventive conservation, then we listen to the talk of Mr. Rod Enano, no, here. Or if our topic is on museums collections management, then we can listen to the talk of John Natividad, no, and others. Some well, I encourage you to watch or listen to this, no, because they are highly relevant, no, for this museum training, no. And there you also have advanced museology, no, yung practical tips on taking photography, assessing the value, curating an exhibition, no. And then yung level 3 mas mahaba naman ng konti, yung advanced museology. So konti lang yung topic dito pero longer yung sessions, no, on collections management and using the digital media, no, for the museum. So you can listen to all this, and then as we proceed with the level 1 of the museum training. Okay. Okay, in relation with Mr. Glenn's question, how many attendees will you accommodate per HEI if they exhausted the number of attendees per HEI, no? Ideally, there should be 2 per HEI, but we were just being so considerate because one institution had 6 to 10 participants, no? So in-accommodate naman namin sila. But please make sure that you have dedicated staff, no, to attend all throughout levels 1 to 3 and be able to submit the requirements. No? So if you work as a team of 7, please assign at least 2 persons who can actually submit all of the requirements. But ideally, you should be all there. No? Pero dapat at least 2 yung mag-a-attend, no? Dedicatedly, committedly in all the trainings. Okay, question. How can we identify our museum if it consists of different collections, such as university memorabilia, some natural history, and some old furnitures and appliances from ancestral houses? Okay, so this particular question is already addressed in year 1, no? So basic museum research for these collections now, and the context and content of their use, no, and the sources of its production are very important. Now, tignan nyo kung ano yung konsepto ng museum ninyo. Okay? And identify what is the focus of your museum, no? So is that an ethnographic museum? Is that a historical museum? Is it a natural history museum? So it is important to lay down the foundation of the nature of your museum, no? So as early as now, no, kaya nga ni-encourage namin yung mga first-time attendees now to listen, no, to year 1 of the museum training. Okay, kasi dito maraming trajectories itong tanong na ito kasi may university memorabilia. Saan mo ba ilalagay ito? So, if you have a university archives, then you move these collections to the university archives. If it's a natural history, di natural history siya. At meron kang furnitures, no? So, how are you going to curate this, no? So ibig sabihin nasa curation, and then the concept, no, of what kind of stories that you want to tell to your audience, no? Okay. Okay, question from Cornelio Cortez. Can private museums avail of the assistance of the Kordilyera Museum? Okay. Yes, we can assist you. We will provide this training, and of course, we can give you the proceedings, no, on how to go about establishing your museums. No? So training-wise and providing you assistance, no, in this manner is, of course, can be done. Okay. Question, are you also distributing kits to the new participants, to the one that was previously sent to year 1 participants? Yes. For year 2, there will be new kits, no, for new participants and old participants, no. So we are actually, because there's a high demand on these kits, no, we were surprised that the contents of that are very basic preventive conservation materials, no, but kapag napudpud na yon o naubos na, they have a basis, no, kung ano yung kailangan gamitin and all that, no. So there will be kits that will be distributed for year 1 and year 2. Okay, so usually we give 1 kit per institution. Okay, so depende na lang kung masigasig kayo or kung talagang kailangan, no, then we can send you the museum kit. Okay. Okay, level 1 to 3 is an estimated 74 hours actually, no, if you have nothing to do and yun lang yung ginagawa mo, so that's actually 74 hours. And you said that very worthy of watching it. No, I totally agree. So maski instead of it's highly encouraged that you listen, no, to all the webinars because they are relevant, no, for your museums. Okay, so noted. Sabi niya, I did not get the fatigue, no, but we were excited to view more, but the time is limited due to the work and tasks to be done. Yes, no. So plan your time to sit down and listen to the archive webinars, no. Paunti-unti lang siya, no. You cannot digest everything, no. At your pace, no, at your readiness to fill in the information, no? Kung may mga questions kayo, you can also take down notes, and these questions can also be asked in year 2. Like your familiarity with the subjects, no? And the concepts and the approach, no? If you're very familiar with that, then you can actually proceed with the level 2 of the museum training, level 1, level 2, because you are now ready, no? So I encourage you to read or watch, no, the webinars. For those who are interested to the proceedings, we are happy to send it to you, especially those 48 new HEI museums, no, participants, no, by institutions. We will be happy to send the museum kit to you. Okay, so attention to the staff. Let's prepare 48 kits for the new MMT2 participants. Okay, we will also be coming out with the proceeding for year 2 of the museum management training, no? So that will be also be documented. Okay, if not chosen to attend the level 2 training in Baguio, can we attend and cover our own lodging expenses or subsidies? Wow. Wow, I'm very touched by that. No, yes, you can do that. No, so depending on the available funds under the MK Shed, we'll see how we can subsidize you in whatever manner. Baka sa meals, no, or sa kits, no, and all that. Okay, thank you. Okay, question. I just want to know if we have existing natural resources museum in the Philippines, or if there are HEIs who has this type of a museum. Okay. Well, not really natural resources museum. Okay. None that I could think of now, but there is a natural history museum. No? So this is different from what you're asking. Okay. From Winda Sejas, if we are going to establish our museum in the university, can we join the archives of the university and the collected museum collections in one area? Okay. First of all, okay, like I said, this question is for year 1, no? But the most important thing is how will you conceptualize your museum? And what is the narrative that you want to impart, no, to your audience, no? So those are the two basic questions that you have to address, no? Kasi why would it also has something to do with the curation, no? So the curation is the kind of story, no, that you want to tell. What is the narrative of that exhibition? Why do you need archival materials in the first place, no? Or why do you need a specific museum collection, no, for that exhibition? So this traces back to how you want your story to be told, no, based on this archives collection or this museum collections, no? Pwede naman magsama ang archival at material or tangible collections in one exhibition as long as you can justify and what is the rationale of that particular exhibition narrative, no? So it takes a lot of time to process that, no? Kasi hindi lahat lang laman ng archives ilalagay mo sa isang exhibit or the whole entire collection. There should be a story or a narrative behind this exhibition. Okay. Okay. Eric S. Choco, question, are there e-copies of the proceedings? No, not yet as of this time, but send us an email, no, on how we can send a copy to you. Okay, Eric S. Choco, if not chosen to attend on-site, will there be virtual sessions available online? Yes, we will do that. Okay. Okay, Eric, pinahiram daw ang kopya kaya i-copy na lang. Okay, so let's see the possibility of that. If we can upload, no, or see, let's see first how we can do the e-copy version of the 2-volume proceedings. Baka pwede naman, no? Okay, so tignan natin kasi kakalabas lang siya. We just sent it out to our year 1 participants and we're sending copies to year 2, no? Newcomies or newbies, no, for this training. Okay. Okay, so is there possibility to conduct the level 2 both online and on-site and choose which one will participate? We are actually, we can do both. We can do online and we can do on-site. Okay, just a question on the readiness, no, of the museum participant na mag-attend sa level 1 and 2. Okay. How will the participants for level 2 be selected? As long as you complete level 1 museum training for year 2, then you advance to level 2. Okay, we have a way of checking, no? Parang you answer the feedback form, we get your attendance. If you are there throughout the 14th session, then you advance to level 2. Okay? Okay, another comment. I was just assigned in our archive department before the pandemic started and got overwhelmed. Okay, I am a new participant and was inspired when Dr. Amores discussed the writing concept paper for establishing HEI Museum. Do we need to learn more, or do you have more topics to be discussed? Okay. Well, that webinar on writing concept paper was part. It came out in the survey, no, because how can you secure funding if you don't have a good proposal? So that was the rationale behind that, no. So we needed to include that, no. If there is more, then you can practice writing your concept papers. Now, some of those who were in technical assistance 3 in year 1, they wrote concept papers and we had it reviewed. Some of them were good, some of them needs improvement, some of them, many of them got a lot of funding from the universities, milyones na funding na ibinigay ng CHED or the university, because of those effective concept papers that were written, mga 2 to 3 page lang siya pero malaman, so importante yun to secure funding from the universities. And if your concept paper is very clear, you know what to do, you know what you need, you know how much you need for the building or invigorating your museum, then your university officials, your LGU officials would listen to you and support your project. Okay, thank you. Okay, I would like to ask if there's an existing engineering museum in the Philippines. We are in the phase of developing collection for the proposed University Museum of Engineering. We already have the theme and storyline. Okay, that's good. What we are into right now is planning for acquisition. I hope that the training would give us perspectives on how to address the issues that are arising as far as the acquisition is concerned. Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Okay, Mr. or Miss Anonymous Attendee, you have to have a shot list and a description on the nature of these artifacts that you are collecting. Okay, there are procedures, especially in the university museums. So the supplier should be registered as field jeffs. They have the receipt, they have business permit. But what if your collections doesn't have this? So that would be difficult to navigate. But we need to see the nature of those things that you wanted to acquire for your engineering museum. Baka naman merong mga alumni or donors, or families who are willing to part away with their collection in relation to engineering. Okay, follow up on how can our museum join the directory of museum. Does the museum need to be an outcome of the MMT? Okay, if you are interested to send or to be part of the HEI Museum Directory, send us an email. And no, you don't need to be necessarily part of MMT 1 and 2. If you are interested to have your museum included in the HEI Museum Directory, then that is fine. Importante na may consent yung museum para i-publish yung detalye, because we are putting the address, the photograph, a brief description, the contact numbers, no, of that museum. Okay. Okay, from Rachel Kelly Ramos. I'm so glad to see Mindanaoans and Cagayanons here. Does the training design have opportunities for interaction between participants? Yes, hopefully, if things are okay, then we can bring selected participants to Baguio to participate in the training. Okay, question, is there a form where we can get the consent form? What do you mean consent from what? Can you clarify that consent form? Okay, for the directory. Consent, yes, just a letter that you are approving of our plan, no, or to include you in the directory. Not really a consent form. It's just a letter telling us that you agree that your museum be included in the HCI directory. Okay, maybe we can formulate a consent form, no? So take note, our RAs, if you can formulate a consent form by just ticking, no, whether they agree or not. Okay. Welcome. Okay, from Jose G. Galego, our university had established a new museum. We named that as Historical and Cultural Heritage Center. Our exhibits are all found in the university. Can we include natural history in our newly museum exhibits? Okay. Okay, Jose, this is actually a year one question, no? Kasi, for instance, at UP Baguio, we have the College of Sciences, and they set up their own herbarium, no? Herbarium sa botany. Okay, so this is a separate a separate museum, no, from the Museo Kordilyera, which is an ethnographic museum. So there should be a delineation, no, of what your museum ought to be, no, whether that's a university museum focus on ethnography, or is it focused on historical, or let's say mga natural history, no? So dapat, like I said, we have to go back to the research and the nature of the narrative or the story that you want to tell, no? Okay, so natural history, you can also set up a new museum on natural history if you have a department of, let's say, College of Sciences, no, in your university. Okay, that would be a good addition, no, for your museum. Kasi itong Historical and Cultural Heritage Center, I'm curious what are the exhibitions or the objects that are found there. Okay. Other questions? Ubus na yung tanong. Okay, so may mga humahabol pang mga gusto mag-participate. Okay, from Alni Queneveba, pwede po daw ba makahabol? Hindi daw po nakatanggap ng communication from CHED, from SUC in Mindanao. In fact, this project, yung Year 2 Museum Management Training, there is a memo, no, that was distributed to all HEIs from CHED. No? So I'm not sure if this has reached you, okay? But Alne, just send us an email so we can include the SUC from Mindanao. Okay, so okay pa. So they could just listen to the recorded day 1 and 2, no, for MMT2, and then they can listen to MMT1 if they have not been a participant, no, for the year 1 of the museum training. Okay. Okay, Kathleen, question. What if a small space? Okay lang ba po ba na magkasama po yung heritage and natural? Okay, nasagot ko ito kay Jose kanina. Okay, you have to have a narrative. What is the story that you want to tell? No? So again, research, concept, and focus. Kung anong klaseng museum kailangan yung itayo at based doon sa collections na meron kayo. What narratives can you write and build from these existing collections? Okay? Kathy, and magkaugnay yung tanong ni Jose at saka ni Kathy. Okay, Maria Luisa Anavisa, meron po ba tayong handout on how to preserve and care the artifacts, the do's and don't? Okay. So if Rod is here and Peter is here, what are the do's and don'ts? Okay, meron. Nasa year 1 of the proceedings, no? Merong nakalagay doon kung ano yung dapat gawin at hindi dapat gawin, no? It's there in that year 1 proceeding of the museum management training. So what you can do, Maria Luisa, you listen to the archive webinar on conservation of artifacts, and then send us an email so we can send you a copy of the book. Okay? Okay, so ito. After viewing the archive webinars, MMT1, level 1 to 3, where can we send our questions or inquiries? Okay, you can send your questions and other comments and other queries via our email, museokordilyera.upbagyo@up.edu.ph. Our RA will send you the link on where you can send those comments via email. So we can prepare that when we go to MMT level 1 and 3 next week na, and then try to ask those questions. Okay. So Miss Jasha, can you send again the email and the contact details of Museo Kordilyera doon sa chat box? Okay, from Oscar Esteban Floyrendo. From Museo de Oro, CDO. Our museum has been long established since 1967 here in the campus of Xavier University Ateneo de Cagayan, but the main campus will be transferring uptown in a few years. They will include the museum by building a new one. Are there precedents on how to transfer everything, artifacts, etc.? Also, what are the things to anticipate? Okay, Oscar, this is covered in year 1. Listen to Rod and Nano's talk or Peter Natividad's talk on packaging and moving artifacts from one place to the other. But the example in the webinar is actually artifacts moving to, let's say, an exhibition. But for this case, moving the entire collection to a new building is a new one. So there are proper ways on how to pack, how to carry all of these important artifacts. Okay. Miss Elaine Morente, may I also request for the Making Museum Works book, or how can I request for the said book? The book is included in the kit. So if you are a first-time museum participant, then we can give you a copy. But please send us an email because the copies are limited. Okay. And the book, Making Museum Work, is available also at the Ateneo Art Gallery, at the Lopez Museum, and at the Chinoy Museum. So ito ay produced by the AGMAM, or the Associations of Greater Manila Museums. They produce this book and you can actually buy from them. But if you are a participant and have completed levels 1 to 3, then we will give you a copy of the kit. The kit has a book of that nature. Okay. From Pam Castrillo, Okay, hello there. I'm also happy to know that there are a number of Mindanao museums in this training. I would like to know if the question of Miss Kelly Ramos refers to interaction among Mindanaoan participants and among other participants in UP Baguio and through visits to each other's museums, no? Pam Castillo and Kelly Ramos, maybe you want to organize a meetup, no? Or a brief museum, say little summit, no, for Mindanaoan museums, no? So that would be very good, no, to visit each other's museums. You can also do benchmarking, no, in Mindanao, no, and then organize the visits and exchange, no, between these museums. Now, hopefully we can go there to visit your museums and to come to Baguio to share your museum with us and how we can collaborate and help you in reinvigorating your museums. Okay, Pam and Kelly, maybe you can start organizing, no? Kasi maraming participants from Mindanao. Okay. Okay, Oscar Esteban Florendo. Also, if ever the admin will consult us on the design of the museum, do you have references for standard ideal designs? Okay, Oscar, we have a session with architect Aris Go in year 1. You may want to listen to that. And then we have an expanded 2 session in year 2 with architect May Mariano on museum design and architecture. Okay, maybe your queries will be addressed, no, in March 17, 18. And I hope you can also listen to the archive webinar on museum design. Yes, Pam, you can organize museum summit or just museum get-together, even if you are starting up your museums. No? So that's where you can learn from the others, no? The more established ones, and how they can also assist you. Okay, Oscar, Kelly, and Pam, no, from Mindanao, you can actually organize museum exchange, no, in your area. Okay, will there be feedback forms for the recorded videos from year 1? I don't think we have feedback forms, no, for year 1. We did had feedback form soon after the webinar, but not the archive one. So if you have comments, no, or other queries on year 1, you can just send us an email. Okay. Ubus na ang tanong. Oh, madami pa pala. Okay. Okay, from Kathy. I learned about your work on cataloging different museum specimens from other museums. Did you actually catalog everything you found? If not everything, how did you prioritize? And if possible, can I request for the copy po nung report ninyo? I am planning of cataloging din for our natural history specimens. Yes, I did catalog or examined artifacts, no, but the focus of that research is on the Northern Luzon collections in the German museums, no. I did work tracing, no, the artifacts that were collected by early German travelers from the Kordilyera, and it was brought to different repositories in Germany and Vienna. So there are thousands and thousands of artifacts there, including the collection from Jose Rizal. But when I went there, you have to focus which ones you have to prioritize, because at the end of the day, the artifacts are overwhelming, and with limited time, you cannot cover all of it, no? So you have to prioritize. We are coming out with a publication on the fieldwork in the German museums, no? Also published by the Museo Kordilyera soon, hopefully this year. Okay. Okay, from Glenn, the Mangsamoro Museum BARM in partnership with the Mindanao Association of Museums is planning a museum summit in October. Okay, that's very good. We are doing the first phase of this summit. Okay, fantastic, Glenn, for organizing and taking that initiative, from the Bangsamoro Museum. Now, that's good to know that there are activities such as this, museum summits in that area. Okay. From Jose Gay Gallego from Central Philippine State University, Cabanakalan, Negros Occidental. This is an advanced question for your future training webinars. Can I ask for the space requirements for the museum? Okay, Jose Gay Gallego, please attend the session on March 17 and 18. And also listen to the archive webinar on museum design and architecture. So there's a discussion on the space for museums that you can actually build. Okay. Okay, so I think we already are done with all the questions unless may iba pa kayong mga comments and others. Okay, so the Making Museums Workbook is available for purchase at the artbooks.ph. So yung kopya namin na how many copies? 150 copies were bought from the Ateneo Art Gallery. So and these were all sent to all the year 1 participants. So let us see if we can work on that. And let's ask for copies, and see how we can actually send you more copies with the kit, if you have completed levels 1 to 3 of the training. Okay, so thank you very much for listening, and I hope that we will see you on March 10 and 11. May tanong pa? Okay. Okay, so may comment pa from one of the participants. I think, this is addressed to all the participants. I think you need to push to the new participants to view the MMT level 1 and 3. It will be a very big advantage to them. Yes, so it's highly encouraged for the new MMT2 participants not to listen to that archive webinars from our website. Mas makakatulong sa inyo to para sabay-sabay tayo umangkas doon sa training. Walang naiiwan, sabay-sabay na natututo doon sa trainings. Okay. So for next week, we are now in week 2 of our museum management training. We have 2 resource persons, our veteran museum practitioner. We have Mr. Danny Alvarez. He is the museum administrator of Yuchenko Museum in Makati. He is also the chair of the Association of Greater Manila Museums, called AGMAM, and also the former chair of the National Committee on Museums, or the NCOM, under the NCCA. So we will have him on March 10, 2021. And our next speaker will be talking about disaster risk management in museums with Dr. Carlos P. Tatel, who's an associate professor at the Department of Anthropology in UP Diliman. So we will have this talk on March 11, 2021. Okay, so as parting words for everyone, so ang topic natin next week sa March 10 ay yung role of museum boards. So this is under museum management and administration. So you can always go back to our archive webinars. Kung gusto mo i-cluster yung topic on museum management, okay, then you have to click in level 1 on basic museology and level 2 on advanced museology. And you can see those related topics in relation to museum management. Okay, so I think that's about it. It's now 11:50 in the morning, and I would like to thank everyone for listening to our session today. No? So if you have other questions, then we can accommodate that. No? And I hope you have a productive weekend and enjoy our archive webinars. This session will also be archived and will be available at our museum website. And lastly, please answer our feedback form. It's now flashed on the chat box. Please answer the brief assessment survey for today's attendance. No? So kung sa level 1, kompleto kayo, then we issue your certificate of attendance and certificate of participation. No? So we just wanted to make sure that you have attended all the sessions for level 1. Okay, thank you very much, and we hope to see you on March 10 and 11. Okay, maraming salamat po. Huwag kalimutan pong sagutin ang feedback form. Thank you and have a good day.